scroll on TikTok and I will see a girl say that she is 19 and I literally short circuit because I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to age shame, but you mean to tell me you were born after 2005 and yet you somehow have the skincare routine of a 48-year-old Beverly Hills housewife? And usually that would be a flex because a lot of them look very slay for their age. I will say that. But do you really want to be looking like Lisa Rinna in your early 20s, girl? Retinol, preventative Botox, collagen powders, peptide serums, under eye patches before school, red light therapy before bed. At 16, like we were worried about homework. I was worried about university. And if I actually look back, I still don't think at 16 I knew where babies even came from. And you mean to tell me that the teenagers of today's era know everything about how to look 20 for the rest of their lives? Now these teenagers are worried about their crow's feet that don't even exist yet. It's exhausting.
Come with me to get Botox for the first time at 21 years old. We're getting preventative Botox in my 11s today, and I'm so excited.
You can kind of just tell me what is your biggest area? Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. You're brown. Yep. Okay. Like Zyrtec or Benadryl. Perfect and relax. Sometimes I'll do Flonase if I feel super puffy too. Sorry, babe. Are you doing okay? No. You did it.
Okay, we're all done. Here's how it's looking right after. It takes about a week to fully settle in. My injector is the best.
So what happens? Instead of actually enjoying their young years, they are spending their young years trying to prevent a version of their future self that hasn't even happened yet. So buckle up, because we're going to be talking about why Gen Z is so afraid of aging, how social media and the beauty industry completely manufactured that fear, and how the attempt to look young forever is ironically making Gen Z look older than anyone that came before them. And I think what really started this fear-mongering was when all these girlies were being told that women expire by 30.
As you age, you will be replaced just like an upgrade of a new phone. Ladies, your time is quite literally running out.
And I really want you to think about how absolutely insane that is. Do you know how many people are over the age of 30? Are you kidding me? Think about your grandma. Think about your aunts. Think about your elder cousins. Like you turn 30 and what, you're just not hot anymore? What about the social proof? You know, I don't love celebrities that much, but we can talk about a bunch of celebrities that have only gotten hotter and better looking after the age of 30. I would say some people in their 20s. Bro, I'm not kidding. Let me show you a picture of me in my 20s. This is what I looked like in my early 20s. I literally look like I should be on Nickelodeon. I literally like a color season. It doesn't exist. And if you're to tell me that now I'm going to be turning 29 this year, that I'm disgusting and I'm ruined, you can't legally rent a car until you're 25 in some places. Your prefrontal cortex doesn't even finish fully developing until you're in your mid-20s. And yet, like, the internet has collectively decided that once you're past 30, you're past your prime. What is prime, bro?
So I had a guy troll my video the other day, and this is what he said. Spoiler alert, all the women who are deferring being with who they got will be gravely disappointed in your 30s as your looks go way south. I'm 36 and will never date any women in her 30s, ever. Ignoring the stark grammatical errors aside, let's see if his thesis holds true. Here's a photo of me from 10 years ago at the innocent, pure, desirable age of 22. And here's the photo of me from 20 seconds ago, unfiltered and unedited, looking like the haggard beast that I clearly am at the ripe old age of 32. And while I could expound further on the subject, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I've got 2 of them here, so I'll let the pictures do most of the talking.
What is prime? And who are we prime for? The men? Get out of my face, it's not. I don't care. Who cares about the men, right? Why am I so scared, and how can I cope with aging beyond 25? If you don't want to age, just die, right? Like, am I crazy for saying that? Oh, Lael, that's so hateful. What a horrible thing to say. How could you say that about somebody? If you are so afraid of getting older, save the planet for the rest of us to enjoy if you're someone happy to be 25. Is anyone else terrified of getting older than 25? People laugh at me for saying I'm having a quarter-life crisis, but for the first time in my life, physical development is all behind me now, and years ahead is at best a steady decline. It used to feel like life would be forever, and now going from 25 to 30 to 40 to 50, it all seems so much shorter than I thought it would feel. I think being 7 years on from 18 and facing the end of that 18 to 25 young person bracket on a lot of things has also really enforced the idea that I am definitely moving past my youth. Bro, how dumb were you at 20? Like, literally, tell me that. My ex-boyfriend, he had me in a choke. Don't even talk to me about 20-year-old Lael. Like, I'm sorry, like, do not. Because you actually don't start living until after 30. Like, don't even talk to me about this because it actually gets me pissed. I've heard a lot of advice along the lines of you're still young and have time and you should be present and do what you want to do starting now. But the fear and knowledge that I'm just gonna get older and eventually more tired and weaker is terrifying. The truth is, this is the inevitability of life, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up. Like, you know what I mean? mean? Like, we can't all live on a cloud forever. What do they say? The moment that we're born, we start dying. It's true. I just don't understand, like, to be so upset about being a certain age and getting older and like being past your young years. I mean, come to terms with it and then go have a beer about it. Like, we need to move on. It feels like I can't stop staring at aging whilst watching my youth slip forever away and not knowing what to do. Please help. I'm 26. You're spending too much time on the internet. If you think 25 has anything to do with 30 and 30 has anything to do with 40 and 40 anything to do with 50, you seem to not be friends with literally anyone. Go get a job with a mixed age group. What's gonna happen when you're approaching 30 exactly? Is your uterus gonna shrivel up and release bats once a month? Are you scared some shoulderless mouth breather on X is gonna comment on how you've hit the wall? Bestie, like, what are we worried about what the men think? Like, the men are bald. You know what I'm saying? What would you like to do? Do that. There's literally no rush. You've started going crazy at 18 with the running out of time shit, and here you are 7 years later still worrying about it. All of that time could have been spent really living it up. You know what I'm saying? Really doing fun stuff. I just feel like there's so much social proof out there that is showing us, like literally showing us how much life is constantly getting better no matter what age you are. And I feel like the thought that your 20s is your prime when you are the dumbest, you have the least amount of money, you don't even know how you should be treated by your friends, you get walked all over, you don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to hurt people's feelings. 6'7". I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I just feel bad. And then when you hit like my age, when I'm pushing 30, and I like to comfortably say I'm almost 30, you know what I mean? Softens the blow a little bit. You know what I mean? 28, I'm almost 30. You end up realizing it's like, this is my life. If I want to tell someone to suck it and kick it to the curb, you literally can. It's a wonderful thing. With age comes freedom and confidence. And literally, I say this every single time. Like, every year I am hotter and I have more money. So like, what's the shame in that?
Why do men talk about women turning 30 and being single as if it's like the worst thing in the world? They're free from you. We should have a ceremony. They're blessed. They're free from your shit. That's awesome. You don't like them anymore? That's great.
Bro, and move out of the way so that we can see the men that actually want to be with us. Not like, I'm looking for a 21-year-old baddie to never text back. Like, go, Steve, get out of my face. It's like, oh, when we turn 30, guess what, guys?
Ladies,
There's
I hate to
older
break it
guys
to
that
you,
think you are
but
the
once you hit
hottest,
30,
cutest, most...
you are
screw
way
men,
past
first
your
of all.
mark.
But the older you get, you know that there are older guys that are also equally hot. Like, are we seeing Brad Pitt? Are we seeing Leo? I know, like, are we seeing how hot guys get? Like, it's a great thing. We can get older too. No, Leonardo DiCaprio. No, you're too hot to turn 25. Have men seen themselves at 30? Yeah, no, it's not looking cute for them. Why are they all bald? Why? And you have big nipples. I can see them through your shirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know this whole video was gonna be about shaming men. I'm sorry. I'm not all men have big nipples, right? Like, I don't think Nick Jonas. Like,
I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or if this is the reality for most people, but I'm watching this season of Love is Blind and all the women are beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. In my head, I perceived them to be my age. I'm gonna be 33 this month. I just thought, I don't know. They just seem like they're in their 30s. And then I find out that a majority of them are in their mid-20s. I was like, what? And I don't know if this is just something that happens as you get older. You lose touch with people's age and you just assume based on their maturity or whatever. Or if it genuinely is because the younger generation is aging faster than we did as millennials. And these women clearly have had Botox and filler, which there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, I do it for a living. But then it kind of plays on the fact that maybe starting those treatments earlier in life does age you a little bit faster.
the truth is, we've said this in 1,000,001 videos. If you want to watch one of my gajillion filler Botox videos, I've got so many on my channel. Click here if you would like to see one. When you start getting treatments that older women get, that women in their 50s are getting, you will look 50. That's it. For me, you guys always clock me and say, well, Lael, you have Botox. Bro, what? I'm developing a new line. Like, it's literally like the one has an underline. And I think when you have facial movement, it makes you look younger. It's only the women that are going to buy a new Range Rover. They're the ones that you can instantly clock, okay, she's like chock full of fillers. And it does make you look older, even if you're 19. What about Vanna from Love Island? What happened with that? And then she wanted to blame it on a down pillow. Get out of my face. Dermatologists have literally reported a massive rise in preventative cosmetic procedures among patients in their late teens and early 20s. You're crazy. Teens? Don't you have like coolers to drink? Like, don't you have, like, aren't you gonna Smirnoff Ice someone? Is that a Canadian thing? Maybe it margaritas. Like, you should be doing beer bongs in college. What do you mean you're getting Botox, girl? The American Society of Plastic Surgeons notes the use of neuromodulators like Botox in people aged 20 to 29 has increased dramatically over the past decade. Plastic surgery, fillers, Botox, mini facelifts, veneers, laser resurfacing, tattooed brows. For decades, these procedures were used as like a corrective measure. They were something that people did after the visible aging actually already happened. A woman in her 50s might use it to soften deep wrinkles. Someone in their 60s might fix sagging skin with a facelift. Veneers were specifically designed for damaged and yellowed, cracked teeth. They were never meant to be a starting point. Like that at your prime ripe age of 19, you're like, finally, I can pull all my teeth out and get veneers. Just get dentures. Like, save yourself the time. And yet now, 20-something-year-olds, like 21-year-old people are starting to enter their maintenance phase when they haven't even finished developing yet.
Apparently, Gen Z is like aging really rapidly.
And ironically enough, it has a lot to do with cosmetic procedures that were originally intended to make people look younger. So there's been a lot of coverage in the news over the last year about Gen Z's interest in cosmetic procedures just shooting through the roof. And the large majority of these procedures are minimally invasive: Botox, fillers, topicals. But these are also procedures that we normally associate with people who are middle-aged or older who are trying to look younger than they actually are.
Bro, and like when we see a face, like it doesn't matter what you look, we will clock it for a second. Even if you're a wonderful person, even if you're 12 years old, we will know exactly what's happening. We will know something is off.
Can somebody please explain to me why this generation of 30 to 40-year-olds look like they're in their 20s and the 20-year-olds look like they're in their early 40s?
Okay, as a dermatologist in my 30s who's a millennial and treats faces every single day, this is my hot take as to why I think that Gen Z may be aging like milk instead of fine wine. Number one, too much filler, too much Botox, way too soon. When I tell you the number of patients that I see in clinic, like in their teens, in their early 20s, that want to have lip filler, they want to have Botox, they want to have cheek filler, they want to have chin filler, like...
Get them off the internet. Get them off the internet. I'm telling you, when I have a baby, they will live by candlelight in a burlap sack. They will not have an iPad. I do not care if you're like, well, Lael, wait and see till you have a baby. You don't know that I run this household like the Navy. You only see me on camera, but you do not know what happens outside those doors. These people are on the internet way too early. Like, I was playing CD-ROM Shrek games in my parents' basement until I was 14 years old. That is exactly what we will be doing here. You can play CD-ROM. My baby will play CD-ROM games. But like, these, I always say, are not natural and organic thoughts. You're not getting ready for school at 14 years old having an organic thought that's like, my lips need to be bigger. That is a seed that comes from somewhere, right? Like these 18, 20-year-old people, it is a seed that is planted from somewhere else that makes them believe that they need these things when it's like, who told you need anything? What do you need? What are you talking about need? You know what I need? A glass of water. I need some food and I need a beer at the end of the day. That's it.
It is actually insane, and the problem with doing that is that you will end up actually looking way older than your years. And that brings me on to the next topic. Your injector matters. If you're going onto Groupon to get yourself just like this amazing deal, you're paying like a few £100s to get your whole face done. I mean, come on, what are you expecting the results to look like?
Girl, some of us are just tired and overworked. And I see you, queen. You're holding it all together. You are the glue that holds the pieces together. My Gen Z sister said it's because of stress and the damn vape. Who is vaping? Respectfully, if you vape, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? You cannot vape. Like, if you love yourself, you cannot vape. And what happened to a good skincare routine? Like, do you even have that? Are we doing fillers before we're even doing a skincare? Human beings read age primarily through facial proportions and tissue behavior. Research in facial perception psychology shows that youthfulness is associated with higher facial contrast, natural skin texture, facial movement, and fat distribution across the mid-face. When you start freezing your muscles and filling your tissue at 22, you remove all of those signs. Botox limits dynamic expression. Fillers change natural fat pad placement. Veneers can significantly alter your mouth proportions. You might not have any wrinkles at 32, but you sure as well end up looking like you're 40. And this is the reason why so many of you guys always ask me like, okay, why don't you do these things? I mean, like if my videos didn't tell you enough, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. But I like the fact that my face moves. I get very worried at putting my facial dynamics in the hands of somebody that I don't know. I like being able to actually emote and move my face because I am a very emotional person. I make a lot of videos, I move my face a lot, and I love that. If somebody took that away from me, that should be a damn crime. There is a term in perception science called configural processing. Your brain does not analyze faces feature by feature. It reads the entire relationship between features. The spacing between the eyes, the way the cheeks compress when you're smiling, the softness of lip edges, the variability of skin reflectance. When those relationships automatically stop behaving like a young face, the brain categorizes the person as older, even if the skin is baby smooth. So yes, you can totally avoid crow's feet. We have so much science and advanced technology to do so, I guess. But now you have the same facial structure as a 40-year-old, right? And this is also why millennials ended up as this strange anomaly generation. Social media technically existed during their youth, but it didn't shape their development. Facebook launched in 2004, but widespread algorithmic image culture didn't appear until around 2009 to 2012. By then, most millennials were already late high school, college age, or entering adulthood. They had already formed their self-image in mirrors and not through the lens of a camera. And like, literally my boyfriend is like a baby millennial, and like I had to teach him how to use Amazon. Like, it's like, first of all, girls, like find an older boyfriend, find an older man, like do not date a guy your age or younger, and like just take it from my own experience. But like, it is classic when he's like, how do I take a picture on my phone? Get a life. Like, and most importantly, the world of influencers just didn't exist. There was no preventative Botox. There was no filler maintenance schedule. Lip injections were still considered extreme. Even plastic surgery among adults was very rare and was often kept very secretive.
So I recently read an article about why Gen Z kids are looking more adult and older than millennials. And the article said that one of the biggest reasons is because they were doing like little touch-ups and Botox early in their 20s. Millennials weren't doing it. If they are doing it, weren't doing it until their late 30s. And that they're also using skincare that's not necessarily meant for their skin starting at a young age. So I'm a millennial, I'm 40. And I went to a really large...
Bro, she looks great. Like, you guys, like, I don't understand. What goalpost are you setting up for yourself? Like, what is it that you want to look like? Like, I feel like that Reddit post we read at the beginning, like, what did you want to live as a fetus until you were dead? That's ridiculous. But like, you have to, this woman is 40 and she looks damn amazing. Her skin looks beautiful. I can't clock what she's had done or if she's had anything done, but she looks amazing. What would be wrong with being this? All I could ask is to be this.
Large school. Like, my graduating class was like 700 or something. And I remember in middle school, that's when we started to get into this stuff in 7th grade. Do you know what we started with? A CoverGirl compact, lip smackers, and the glossy roll-ons. The ones that smell like cheap strawberries. Maybe mascara, maybe. And for skincare, we just use soap and water. Maybe Clearasil. And if we had a zit, we put rubbing alcohol on that. Or toothpaste. So it's making me wonder. I'm seeing all these Sephora girls at 10 years old putting retinol and drunk elephant on their face. If Gen Z is looking older than millennials because they're starting too early, what is Gen Alpha gonna look like when...
No, and I'm telling you, it's this damn internet. I'm gonna make a whole video and a deep dive on the fact that social media is absolutely the silent killer. Like, if you've got your babies, keep them close to your heart and do not let them go on that damn internet. And oh my God, like, I relate so hard. Like, I'm 28, she's 40, but like, the things that I was doing I had a candy lip gloss that was just like a candy. Like, that's like, you just eat it. You know what I mean? Anyone else remember the clear mascara our moms gave us so we could wear makeup but not? Bro, I'm not kidding you. Like that OG Maybelline that was in the green and pink package. Like, don't even get me going. It'll be weird when the millennials are the most youthful looking generation when we're in our 60s. Even my boyfriend and the things that he grew up with. Like, he loves the sun. He loves being in the sun, basking in the sun. And like, he looks really good. Like, you know what I mean? That's always why I'm like, maybe I should take he also is like 20 shades darker than I am, so maybe I'll burn if I go out there. But there are all of these secrets that it seems like millennials grew up off of that we are not partaking in. Why do they look so good? You're 40, and this is what I'm saying. The millennials are blessed.
You want to know why Gen Z looks older than millennials? Honestly, that shouldn't even matter because at the end of the day, we're all getting cooked unless we do something about it because our world has changed. We don't live in the same world that millennials grew up in, that our parents or grandparents grew up in. So I'm going to tell you why these younger generations are aging faster than other generations. The first reason should be pretty obvious, but some people are still in denial that your food can't affect you that much, but it can. And the food that we ate growing up as kids is not made the same way as the food that Gen Z is eating now.
Gen Z is looking older these days. Yeah. Maybe it's not because of the skin products, maybe it's just the crippling weight of being alive in 2024. That, nicotine addiction, and microplastics. We technically have a credit card size amount of plastic running through our bodies. Yeah. Also, youngest Gen Z is like 12. They're not Botoxed up. No, they're at Sephora wrecking all the skincare for us. No house, no kids, no healthcare, but like I'll be hot though. But I'll be hot as hell. Yeah.
No, bro, I'm telling you. At the same time, millennials actually benefited from something extremely important to note. They were the first generation to be raised in the very first anti-smoking shift. Smoking is one of the strongest accelerators in visible aging ever studied. Ever. It damages collagen, constricts blood vessels, reduces oxygen delivery to the skin, and dramatically increases wrinkling and skin thinning. Dermatological studies have consistently shown smokers display significantly more facial aging than non-smokers of the same age. Previous generations, specifically Gen X and Boomers, smoked heavily in adolescence and young adulthood. Millennials largely didn't, and vaping hadn't become a thing yet. And what did I say, ladies and gentlemen? What are you doing vaping? Stop vaping. Oh, but Lael, it's cherry apple twist with vanilla on the... I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. It's disgusting. You don't even know what's in that. Like, if I'm not putting Botox in my face, you sure as hell know I have never smoked a damn thing in my life. Do you know why? Because my grandfather was a crazy smoker. The smoking liver disease took him out crazy cold. God rest his soul. I miss him every single day. But that was the most horrific thing I've ever had to witness. Somebody go through something like that, and no, it's never happening. Cigarette has never touched my lips and never will. I don't care how stressed I am. I'll do something else about it. So millennials actually hit a very specific combination. They avoided one of the worst fast aging behaviors while also not medically interfering with their faces. The result was a generation that aged relatively slow, not because they were better at skincare, but because they actually left their faces alone. Gen Z specifically is very different because while obsessing over aging, the same generation is simultaneously engaging with behaviors that accelerate it. Poor sleep patterns from late night screen exposure disrupt circadian rhythms, which are tied to skin repair cycles. Blue light exposure delays melatonin release, which affects cellular regeneration. Processed diets high in refined sugar increase glycation, a process where sugar molecules bind to collagen fibers, making them very rigid. This literally stiffens the skin's structural proteins, leading to premature aging. All while vaping is hitting record highs, making Gen Z take a swift nosedive back into smoking, which millennials had tried so hard to stop.
I've seen so many people talking about how Gen Z looks so much older than they are, and they don't understand why. I know people who are almost 10 years younger than me, and we look the same age, or they look older, which is honestly spooky. Could not convince me that it is anything other than nicotine consumption and vaping. That sounds like such a boomer thing to say, or like I just stepped out of a fucking Dare commercial, but like...
Stop smoking, kids. Stop smoking. That's literally me over here. Like, I have to tell you, I have to say it.
The community is affecting us. I'm not infected. I have papers to prove I'm not infected.
Everyone our age vapes. No shame to y'all, but stay safe. Yeah, not everyone, girl. I promise I ain't never vaped before. And honestly, the main reason I have never smoked or vaped is not because I want to look young forever. It's because it's on the damn package. In Canada, we have a lot of propaganda on smoke-related products. It's like, I don't know if you guys have that in America. You go to buy a pack of cigarettes right now, you will see somebody's like kidneys and bladder falling out of their asshole. Like they literally, their teeth are rotting and falling out. It is enough to go, maybe not today. Maybe I'll pick that up at a later date. Like things aren't looking too bad right now. I'm a bit stressed, but like it could be worse. Maybe I'll pick that up on a really, really bad day. It just, from the science, we learned about it in school. There's just nothing that could convince me that I need to be vaping. You guys know I love a good beer. You know I love a good drink. Is that necessarily the best thing ever? If I could be completely sober on everything, I would. I think it would be amazing. But we all got our vices. You know what I'm saying? I can't help myself. And then on top of all of this, all of these cosmetic procedures just added right on top. So the generation most worried about aging is combining sleep deprivation, high sugar intake, high stress exposure, smoking, and early facial modification, all while trying to counteract it with skincare and influencer advice, which we all know. Like what? Beauty marketing relies on what psychologists call a problem activation model. First, you become aware of a defect, and then you are presented with a purchasable solution. Influencers Influencers are not just randomly recommending you routines, like, right? Like, we're smart enough to know that. The system works because insecurity drives engagement drives visibility, and visibility drives sales. I know we've all been there. You see a really hot girl on Instagram, you go to her Amazon storefront and you buy everything, right? Like, I know I've done that once, all just for it to give me the worst skin of my life, because we all know she's not using Medicube. She's not. And the user participates willingly because there is a promise at the center of it. Control. Because sure, aging is uncontrollable, but buying something, some new thing to add to your routine, doing something, spending money feels controllable. So instead of addressing sleep, diet, stress, media exposure, people purchase serums, procedures, and routines. The behavior feels productive, but biologically it does a lot less than just simply living normally. Buying something is actually the easy part. It's effortless. Actually going forward and changing your lifestyle and your habits, that's what feels impossible, and that's why not a lot of Gen Zers are doing it. So they go ahead and they buy into skincare and bad advice. So they end up looking 45 at 25. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, throw a big fat thumbs up and also comment down below. How do we feel about this? How do you guys feel about this entire idea? I have an entire playlist on my channel about Gen Z, and I am a Gen Z as well. Just because I make videos about Gen Z doesn't mean that I don't feel like I am somewhat a part of this. Of course I do. I feel like I try my best to make the best decisions for myself and almost like look at it from a bird's eye view, but I am 28. I am like a lot closer to millennials, I find sometimes, than I am Gen Z, just in how we were raised and what we grew up with. But at the end of the day, and the center of all of this, I do feel bad. I just feel bad for people that are so deeply obsessed with getting older, because every single time we make one of these videos, becoming older and being old is a sheer blessing. My grandma is 82. If I could somehow manage to live to 82, I would be one of the luckiest people in the whole world. It's a blessing to be older. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And to think that life stops when you're 30, think about one day having children, having grandchildren, having a place of your own, growing old with your significant other. There's so much wonder and beauty in the world that you have to look forward to. So don't feel like because you're gonna look different, it's gonna change anything. It really doesn't matter. If you guys enjoyed this deep dive, you can go ahead and click one of these videos, Gen Z is aging like milk, or even why 12-year-olds are looking 25. Like, I talk a big one about really, really young people in that video, and I think you would really enjoy it. You know, I only make these videos because I love you and I truly want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.